There's a secret most people never talk about, a truth so powerful yet so simple. Every success story starts with a problem. Not luck, not comfort, not perfection, but problems, pain, pressure, failure. Think about it. Every great invention was born to solve a problem. Every strong person you admire today was once broken. Every victory we celebrate came through a battle no one saw. So why do we run from problems? Why do we see struggle as a curse instead of calling? This journey isn't just about motivation. It's about opening your eyes to a new truth. Problems aren't blocking your success. They're building it. In this video, we'll walk through 5 powerful truths, 5 eye-opening reasons why success actually grows from your most difficult moments. And by the end, you won't just feel inspired. You'll feel prepared. You'll feel powerful. You'll understand that the next time life throws you a challenge, it might just be handing you the key to your greatest breakthrough. So take a deep breath. Open your heart, because this is the story of how your problems are silently shaping your success. And it starts right now. 1. Problems are the seeds of innovation. Bright minds, let me tell you something powerful today. The world you live in right now, with its smartphones, electric cars, online classes, space missions, even the internet you're using, is nothing but the result of someone's problem. Yes, you heard it right. Behind every invention, every innovation, and every great success story, there was a problem that someone dared to face. They didn't run away from it. They didn't blame anyone. They didn't complain. Instead, they looked that problem in the eye and said, "I will solve you." And that decision, that courage, that mindset gave birth to something the world had never seen before. Let's take a moment to talk about one of the greatest inventors the world has ever known, Thomas Edison. He gave us the light bulb, phonograph, and motion picture camera. But do you know what really gave birth to those inventions? It wasn't just his intelligence. It was a problem. In a world lit by gas lamps and candles, people had a need for longer-lasting, safer, and brighter light. Edison didn't wait for someone else to fix it. He spent thousands of hours, tried more than 1,000 different materials, and failed more times than most people try. But each failure taught him something. Every problem he faced refined the path. And finally, he gave us light, literally and symbolically. Problems are not curses. They're hidden gifts wrapped in pain and confusion. They come to shake your comfort zone and demand attention. Why? Because only when something is broken do we look for solutions. When things go wrong, that's when the real transformation starts. Look at any groundbreaking idea, and you'll see it started with a question, why is this not working? Or how can this be better? Think about Elon Musk. SpaceX was born from one of the biggest challenges in modern science. Space travel is expensive and inefficient. Everyone said it was impossible to make rockets reusable, but Musk took that problem, poured his mind and heart into it, and today his rockets land themselves after launch, something that was once science fiction. The key was simple. He didn't hate the problem. He embraced it. Let's bring this closer to home. Imagine you're in a small town where public transport is unreliable. People are always late for work or school. Someone, frustrated with this problem, starts a local ride-sharing app that not only helps their community, but grows into a nationwide solution. That's how ideas begin. That's how change happens. Your frustration today could be the foundation of your innovation tomorrow. It's easy to say, I hate problems. But what if we change the narrative? What if every time you face a problem, you ask yourself, what can I create from this? What if instead of stress, you saw opportunity? When you train your mind this way, life changes. Your perspective becomes sharper. You stop feeling like a victim and start thinking like a visionary. Look at the example of Steve Jobs. Apple was born out of the frustration of using clunky, complicated computers. He wanted simplicity, beauty, and elegance. That desire, triggered by a problem, gave birth to products that changed the way we live. iPhones, iPads, iMacs. They're all solutions to problems people didn't even know they had. Problems are invitations from life to grow. They are not roadblocks. They are redirections. You just need the eyes to see it. When you look back at your life, you'll see that your best growth didn't come when things were easy. It came when things fell apart. It came when you were forced to think differently, to rise, to act, to push. There was once a boy in India whose family was so poor they couldn't afford electricity at home. He studied under the streetlights. People laughed at him. He could have given up, but he didn't. That challenge became his fire. He studied, worked hard, and today he's a successful engineer leading innovations in renewable energy. That boy used his problem as a spark, not shame. Let's be real, nobody likes problems. They hurt. They frustrate. They confuse. But your reaction is everything. You can either complain about the rain or build a boat. You can cry over the darkness or create light. That choice is yours. Even in your daily life, you encounter small problems. Someone misunderstands you. A plan fails. Your health takes a dip, or your goals get delayed. Most people use these moments to doubt themselves. But the few who rise, those who pause and ask, what can I do differently? They are the ones who move forward. They are the ones who take the seeds of their problems and grow forests of success. The reason most people never succeed is not because they don't have talent. It's because they run away from problems. They think problems are signs of weakness or bad luck. But real winners know problems are part of the game. They're the stepping stones. They're the tests that life puts in your path, not to break you, but to build you. If you're facing a challenge today, whether big or small, pause and reflect. Could it be that this is not the end, but the beginning of something new? Could it be that this pain is pushing you to grow, to act, to innovate? Could this discomfort be your fuel? Every great success story you admire has one thing in common: a problem, a personal tragedy, a social injustice, a technical limitation, a painful moment. And someone somewhere said, enough. I will make something better. That person could be you. You don't need to be rich, famous, or a genius. You just need to be willing to feel the problem, to believe that something better is possible, and to act. The next time life gives you a problem, don't ask why me. Ask instead, what for? What lesson? What message? What new idea is trying to be born? Because success, my friend, doesn't come from ease. It comes from the problems you dare to solve. 2. Pain builds character. Dear relentless warriors, let's talk honestly for a moment. Life isn't always soft or sweet. Sometimes it throws you into storms you never asked for. You lose people, lose jobs, miss chances, and face rejection, pain, and confusion. And yet, after all of that, you're still standing. Do you realize how powerful that makes you? Pain is not your enemy. In fact, it's your greatest teacher. It's the fire that forges steel, the pressure that creates diamonds, the storm that prepares you for battle. No one ever built character from comfort. Character is born when the lights go out, when friends walk away, when nothing makes sense, but you choose to keep going anyway. Take the story of Oprah Winfrey, for example. Today, she's a billionaire and one of the most influential women in the world. But before all of that, she was a little girl born into poverty, abused at a young age, rejected by society. Her life was filled with pain. Most people would have broken down, but not her. She used that pain to build empathy, used that rejection to build strength, and used every moment of doubt to build belief. That's what pain does. It either destroys you or develops you. And you get to choose. Pain tests what you're made of. It shows you who you really are. When things are going well, everyone looks confident. But when everything is falling apart and you still choose to believe in yourself, that's real character. That's when your inner strength begins to grow. That's when success quietly starts its journey within you. Think about Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison, 27 years of cold walls, isolation, and waiting. But he didn't come out bitter. He came out better. Why? Because he didn't let the pain shrink him. He let it expand him. Task. But life doesn't work that way. You get what you take responsibility for. Nothing more, nothing less. Sometimes responsibility means making tough choices, saying no to comfort, cutting off distractions, walking away from easy but harmful paths. It means choosing long-term growth over short-term pleasure. And that's not weakness, that's wisdom. Even in relationships, taking responsibility can change everything. Instead of blaming your partner, ask, what can I do to make this better? That simple shift creates connection. Instead of fighting, you start building. Instead of tearing down, you start lifting up. At work, too, responsibility sets you apart. When you say, I'll take care of it, people trust you. And trust brings opportunities. When you go the extra mile without being asked, people remember. And before you know it, your name becomes the first one they call when something big needs to get done. Responsibility also helps you forgive. When you stop expecting others to fix your pain, you learn to heal yourself. You realize forgiveness is not about them. It's about your peace. And peace is power. Yes, responsibility is heavy, but it also makes you stronger. Like carrying weights at the gym. The more you carry, the more you grow. And soon, things that used to crush you will feel like feathers. That's how transformation works. Let's say you're stuck in a job you hate. You didn't choose the economy. You didn't create the system. But you can still choose how you respond. You can learn new skills, build a side hustle, change your mindset. That's responsibility in action. Or maybe your family wasn't supportive. Maybe they laughed at your dreams. That hurts deeply, but even that pain can be fuel. You can still write your own story. You can still become the person you wish they believed in. And when you do, the world will have no choice but to respect you. So if you want real power, the kind that can't be taken away, start with responsibility. Not just for your actions, but for your reactions, for your goals, for your energy, for your time. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. One day you'll look back and realize the moment you stopped waiting for someone to save you and decided to save yourself. That was the moment everything began to change. Because in the end, responsibility isn't just about doing more. It's about becoming more. And becoming more is the ultimate success. 4. Growth happens outside comfort. Bright minds. Let's face a truth that most people ignore. Comfort is a trap. It feels good, it feels safe, but it slowly kills your potential. Growth, real, deep growth, never happens inside your comfort zone. It happens in those uncertain, uncomfortable, unfamiliar moments when your heart races, when fear whispers, and when your legs want to turn back, but instead you move forward. Comfort is like a soft bed. Stay too long and you forget how to walk. The problem is most people spend their lives decorating that bed instead of getting up and chasing their dreams. But the ones who grow, they're the ones who dare to get uncomfortable on purpose. Think about a seed. To become a tree, it must break its shell. That breaking is not comfortable. It's painful. It's messy. But it's necessary. The same goes for you. If you want to grow into your full potential, you must be willing to break your patterns, to face the unknown, to step into discomfort willingly. Let's take an example from sports. Every athlete you admire didn't become great by staying in comfort. They woke up early, trained through pain, lost matches, faced criticism. But they didn't stop because they knew growth comes with pressure. Just like muscles need resistance to grow, your mind needs challenge. Remember the first time you tried something new? Maybe public speaking or moving to a new place. It felt scary, right? Your stomach turned, your hand shook. But after you did it, didn't you feel stronger? That's growth. That's what happens when you face fear instead of avoiding it. Fear isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign you're on to something important, something that matters. The magic lies just beyond the fear, but only a few ever reach it, because most people turn back too soon. Let's talk about discomfort in learning. When you're learning a new skill, coding, a new language, writing, business, you'll feel stupid at first. Your ego will hate it. But that's a good thing, because every time you struggle, your brain creates new pathways. It's literally rewiring itself to become better. Discomfort in learning means your brain is growing. Even in personal development, growth hurts. Healing hurts. Facing your traumas, forgiving someone who hurt you, apologizing for your own mistakes. None of these are easy, but they're necessary. Because emotional growth is just as powerful as mental growth, and it too requires stepping into discomfort. Many people say, I want to grow, but then avoid everything that feels hard. They want new results with old habits. But change doesn't work that way. Growth demands sacrifice. Sometimes it means sacrificing sleep to study. Sometimes it means sacrificing comfort to face rejection. But every sacrifice plants a seed for future success. Let's take the story of Oprah Winfrey. She didn't grow up in luxury. She had to face poverty, trauma, rejection. She didn't wait for life to be easy. She faced her uncomfortable truth, spoke about it, healed from it, and used that pain as power. She grew not because life was kind, but because she refused to stay in comfort. Even businesses grow the same way. The best companies are not afraid to take risks, to try new things, to fail fast. That discomfort of trial and error is what leads to innovation. It's the same with your life. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always got. Comfort is addictive. It feels good in a moment, but steals your future. The uncomfortable path is not attractive at first, but it's where your future self is waiting. The version of you that's stronger, wiser, more confident. That version lives outside your comfort zone. Take a moment and ask yourself, what uncomfortable thing have you been avoiding? Is it that conversation you need to have? That career move you're scared to try? That habit you need to break? Now think, what if the next level of your life depends on you facing exactly that? People often ask, how do I become more confident? The answer isn't fake positivity. It's doing hard things again and again until your fear shrinks. Confidence is not gifted. It's earned through discomfort. Every time you step into fear and survive, your mind goes, I can do this again. Also remember, discomfort doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're transforming. Just like a caterpillar turns into a butterfly in darkness, you too are shaping into something beautiful every time you endure the tough moments. Sometimes growth also means letting go. Letting go of people who don't support your dreams. Letting go of the need to be liked. Letting go of perfectionism. Each of these is uncomfortable, but each one frees you. And freedom is the soil in which growth blooms. Here's another truth. The discomfort you avoid today becomes regret tomorrow. But the discomfort you embrace today becomes strength tomorrow. So the question is, which one do you want to live with? Regret or growth? Even your comfort zone is not really comfortable. It's just familiar. There's a difference. Familiarity feels safe because it's predictable, but safety is not always growth. Your real power lies in stretching. Stretch your habits. Stretch your goals. Stretch your beliefs about what's possible. One of the best things you can do for your life is to train yourself to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Wake up early even when you don't feel like it. Speak up even when your voice shakes. Take action even when you're unsure. That's how you grow into the kind of person who doesn't just survive life, but shapes it. So many people settle not because they can't do more, but because they don't want to feel the temporary discomfort of trying. But remember this: comfort is short-term joy, long-term loss. Discomfort is short-term pain, long-term reward. Choose wisely. In the end, growth is not about what happens to you. It's about how far you're willing to go beyond what's easy. So step into the cold, face the fear, take the leap, break the pattern. You'll stumble, you'll sweat, you'll cry, but you'll also rise. And that rise will change everything. Because every level of your life will demand a new version of you. And that version is never found in comfort. 5. Challenges reveal character. Wise dreamers, one of life's most powerful truths is this: your true strength doesn't show up when things are easy. It shows up when everything is falling apart. Anybody can smile when the sun is shining, but it's the storm that shows what you're really made of. Challenges don't just test your character. They reveal it, they shape it, they define it. When you go through a hard time, it's like the universe is handing you a mirror, not to show you who you pretend to be, but who you really are inside. Will you give up or will you rise? Will you blame the world or take the lesson? That choice, made again and again during struggle, writes the story of your life. We often want life to be smooth. We pray for comfort, success, peace. But success without struggle is empty. Strength without resistance is fake. Imagine a sword that's never been through fire. It'll break in battle. That's why challenges are necessary. They refine you. They harden your edges. They teach you to bend, not break. In every challenge, there is a choice. You can either become bitter or better. And the difference lies in how you respond. If you complain, blame, and quit, you stay stuck. But if you pause, learn, adapt, and push forward, you rise stronger than ever before. Let's take an example from real life. J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. Before she became one of the most successful writers in the world, she was a struggling single mom, broke, depressed, and rejected by multiple publishers. But she didn't let those rejections define her. She kept going. Each no just sharpened her focus. Her challenge revealed her character. Not weak, not defeated, but determined. Think about it. You don't know how brave you are until you're afraid. You don't know how strong you are until you're tested. You don't know how resilient you are until everything falls apart. And that's the gift of challenges. They show you parts of yourself you didn't even know existed. Some people avoid challenges, thinking they're bad luck. But what if they're actually hidden blessings? What if the pain is not punishment, but preparation? Every great person you admire today, every leader, artist, innovator went through some kind of trial. It's those trials that shape them. Fire forges steel. Storms build roots. Struggle gives birth to greatness. Let's be honest, challenges hurt. They break your heart. They bring tears. They make you question everything. But that's where transformation happens. Not in your comfort, not in your ease, but in the cracks of your hardest moments. Even the strongest trees grow deeper roots during storms. They don't curse the wind. They strengthen their grip. That's what you need to do too. When life hits hard, don't collapse. Ground yourself. Go deeper. Find your core, because that's when real growth begins. Challenges are also powerful teachers. They teach you who your real friends are, who stands with you when you have nothing. They teach you patience, humility, empathy. They teach you that you can survive more than you thought possible. And once you learn that, life never feels the same again. Some people say, why me? But what if the better question is, what now? What can I learn? What strength is being built inside me right now? Challenges shift your perspective from a victim mindset to a victor mindset. And that shift is everything. Even your worst moments can become your greatest motivators. Many people have turned pain into purpose. Lost jobs turned into new careers. Broken relationships led to personal awakening. Health issues turned into lifestyle changes. Don't let a tough season define you. Let it refine you. Think of life like a mountain. The higher you go, the tougher it gets. The air gets thinner, the paths steeper. But the view? It becomes more beautiful. The climb is painful, yes, but that pain builds the legs you need to stand at the top. And once you're there, you realize it was worth every step. Some challenges last longer than others. Some hurt deeper. But all of them have the power to build your legacy if you let them. Don't waste your pain. Use it. Don't run from your struggle. Stand in it. Grow through it. Become the person who looks back and says, that storm didn't break me. It built me. Also understand this. Your response in crisis becomes your reputation. People will remember how you handle hardship. Did you act with grace or anger? Did you crumble or lead the way? The way you rise after falling speaks louder than your success ever will. In the quiet moments of difficulty, when no one's watching, your character is formed. That's when integrity is tested. That's when patience is built. That's when true confidence is born. So don't curse the hard times. Embrace them like a blacksmith embraces fire, because they are molding you into something unbreakable. Challenges don't just change your path. They often reveal your purpose. Many people discover what really matters in life only after loss. They find strength in faith. They create from their wounds. They build new futures because they refuse to let the pain go to waste. Let your struggle inspire someone else someday. And remember, every challenge has an expiration date. No storm lasts forever. No night stays dark forever. Hold on. Keep walking. Keep believing. You don't have to see the whole path. Just take the next step. With every challenge, you're not going backward. You're being prepared for something greater. So when life hits hard, take a deep breath. Remind yourself, this is not the end. This is the middle. My story is still being written. Don't be afraid of challenges. Be afraid of standing still. Because it's in the movement, the rising, the fighting, that your true light is born. Be the kind of person that adversity can't break. Let your scars become stars. Let your pain become power. Let your trials turn into triumphs. And let your life become living proof that strength is not about never falling. It's about always rising. Because when everything is taken from you, all that remains is character. And if that character is strong, you can rebuild anything. So, dear minds, now you know, success doesn't come wrapped in comfort. It grows from your deepest struggles. Every problem you faced, every tear you've shed, every moment you felt lost, it was building you into someone stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable. The path to greatness is never easy, but it's always worth it. And if you're walking that hard road right now, just remember, it's shaping you for something extraordinary. You're not broken, you're becoming. You're not weak, you're rising. And you're not alone. We're in this together. So keep moving forward with courage. Let your scars shine with pride. Let every problem become your power. Because one day you'll look back and smile. Not because life was easy, but because you were brave enough to grow through the storm. If this message touched your heart, if it made you pause and think deeper, then you've already taken a step toward your own transformation. Keep taking those steps. Your future self is waiting to thank you. Stay strong, stay real, and never stop believing in the power of your own story. This is mind-blowing motive, where your mind grows and your soul glows. See you in the next journey. He reflected, he prepared. And when he walked out, he didn't walk out just as a free man. He walked out as a leader who would change the course of history. Now, pause and think, what pain are you carrying? Is it heartbreak, failure, financial struggle, rejection, loneliness? Whatever it is, understand this. It's not the pain itself that will shape your life. It's how you respond to it. You can let it poison you, or you can let it polish you. Pain reveals your values. When everything's gone, money, fame, support, what remains is your heart, your spirit, your will. That's the foundation of true character. And once that foundation is strong, no setback can truly break you. Sometimes we wish the journey was easier, that life didn't hurt so much. But do you realize what a gift it is to go through hard times and still come out standing? People who've never been tested don't know their true strength. But those who've walked through fire and kept walking, they're the ones who shine the brightest. Remember the story of Bethany Hamilton, the surfer who lost her arm in a shark attack at the age of 13. For many, that could have been the end. But for her, it was the beginning of a new chapter. She trained harder, fought stronger, and returned to competitive surfing with one arm. That's not just physical strength. That's character built from pain. That's what true courage looks like. Pain also gives you perspective. It helps you understand others better. When you've suffered, you become more human. You stop judging. You start listening. You start helping. And that's where true success begins, not just in what you achieve, but in who you become. There's a reason why soldiers, athletes, and spiritual leaders often speak of suffering as something sacred. It's not because they love pain. It's because they've seen what pain can do. It strips away the unnecessary. It forces growth. It sharpens focus. It humbles you and elevates you at the same time. Take any person who inspires you and look deeper into their story. You'll find scars. You'll find battles. You'll find days when they wanted to quit. But instead of giving up, they showed up. That's what makes them different. Not luck, not genius, just the willingness to walk through the pain and learn from it. Sometimes pain doesn't come from failure. It comes from growth. Like the soreness after a tough workout. Like the silence when you leave toxic friends. Like the fear of starting something new. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also necessary. Because nothing beautiful grows without a little pressure. So the next time you feel like life is being unfair, stop and ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Maybe it's teaching you patience. Maybe it's teaching you independence. Maybe it's preparing you for a future you can't even imagine yet. You don't have to pretend pain doesn't hurt. It does deeply, but you also don't have to let it define you. Feel it, process it, then rise from it. Use it, channel it. That's how legends are made. And don't believe for a second that people who smile all the time have never suffered. Most of them have cried rivers behind closed doors. But what makes them admirable is that they didn't let those tears drown them. They turned that water into waves and learned how to surf. Here's the real secret. When you survive pain, your capacity for joy increases. Your appreciation for life deepens. You no longer chase shallow things. You become more grounded, more powerful, more real. And that, my friend, is the kind of success no one can take away from you. If you're in pain right now, don't rush to escape it. Sit with it. Talk to it. Understand what it's trying to build inside you. Because behind the suffering, behind the struggle, behind the silence, something beautiful is being formed, something strong, something unforgettable. In time, you will look back and say, that pain, it shaped me. That problem, it made me powerful. And that will be the day you understand success was never about trophies or applause. It was about becoming someone you could be proud of, someone who faced the fire and didn't burn, but rose. 3. Responsibility creates power. Fearless dreamers, today let's talk about something most people avoid. Responsibility. It's a heavy word. Some people hear it and run. Others hear it and rise. But here's the truth that the world never tells you. Responsibility is not a burden. It's your gateway to power. The moment you stop blaming others and start owning your life, you take control of your destiny. Look around. Most people are stuck not because they lack talent, but because they keep saying, it's not my fault. They blame the economy, their parents, their past, the weather, even luck. But no one ever grew stronger by blaming. Growth begins the day you say, this is my life, my choices, my responsibility. Let's look at J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. She was a single mother living on welfare, struggling to survive. She could have blamed the system. She could have waited for help, but she didn't. She took responsibility for her dream. She sat in cafes, writing with a baby in her arms. And because of that choice, she didn't just write a book, she built an empire. Not because she was lucky, but because she refused to give up her power. Responsibility means saying, even if it's not my fault, it's still my problem. That mindset is rare, but it's also what separates leaders from followers. Life will never be perfect. People will fail you. Situations will hurt you. But if you keep waiting for others to fix things, you'll wait forever. Responsibility is the decision to move forward, no matter what. Do you remember Malala Yousafzai? Shot by the Taliban for wanting to go to school. She could have hidden. She could have stayed silent. But instead, she took responsibility not just for her life, but for every girl denied education. That courage changed the world. That's the power of responsibility. It turns victims into leaders. When you take responsibility, something magical happens. You stop waiting. You stop complaining. You start building. You become solution-focused instead of excuse-focused. And slowly, the world begins to take you seriously because power flows toward those who take ownership. Think about your own life. Were you still pointing fingers? Maybe it's your job, your relationships, your habits, your past. Ask yourself, what would happen if you stopped blaming and started owning it? You'd feel scared at first, vulnerable, but soon you'd realize you've had the power all along. You just weren't using it. Responsibility is also about small things. Waking up on time, keeping promises, taking care of your health. These don't seem like big deals, but they're the bricks that build character, and character builds trust, and trust opens doors. Success is not one big leap. It's a million small steps taken with responsibility. There's a reason why the most successful people in the world are the ones who accept the most responsibility. Think of Elon Musk. When something goes wrong at SpaceX or Tesla, he doesn't hide behind his team. He owns the failure. He faces the media. He apologizes. Then he goes back to work. That's leadership. That's maturity. That's power. It's easy to play the victim. You get sympathy. People feel sorry for you. But sympathy never changed the world. Courage did. Action did. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you don't feel pain. It means you refuse to stay stuck in it. Some people avoid responsibility because they fear failure. But guess what? Failure is part of the game. Taking responsibility doesn't guarantee success. It guarantees growth. And over time, that growth becomes your advantage. Also understand this. Responsibility is freedom. When you depend on others, your emotions depend on them too. If they fail, you fall. But when you take charge, you rise, no matter what they do. You become emotionally bulletproof. And that's real freedom. Responsibility also means facing your own flaws, admitting when you're wrong, apologizing without excuses, learning instead of defending. It's hard. It hurts your ego, but it also builds respect, and respect is more valuable than attention. Here's a truth you won't hear often. Most people don't succeed because they're not willing to take full ownership of their lives. They want the reward without the risk, the title without the